hope you're having a wonderful month so far. Welcome to April 2019 bullet journal setup. I am currently a little late for this month's April setup because this month I wanted to film the whole process of me setting up my bullet journal from scratch. Well, from pencil scratches anyhow, rather than just showing you the end result. It has taken me so long to film and edit. I never realized how much work and effort goes into making these videos. I thought that I would get it all done in a day or two, but nope. Perhaps it's just me being slow and new to all of this that's delaying the process. At the end of filming, there was 6 hours of footage from 3 different camera angles. When I put it all into Premiere Pro, I sat there and had a moment of, well, what do I do now with all of this? Which was very daunting for me. But then I got into my usual state of mind of, well, sod it. Just do something. No one's paying attention. You can always delete it later and never think of it again if it's that bad. So I hope you enjoy this Plan With Me video. Any feedback would be highly appreciated and welcomed. I will eventually have this entire setup in my Etsy store if anyone is interested. I will make it so you can use it for any month and also clean up the drawings a little bit. So jumping into the setup. Last month I drew a basic floor plan as a symbol for the month's theme, and I really liked having that as an intro to the new month rather than leaving the page blank and then having a cover page. I have taken the time to pre-plan and sketch the layouts in pencil to save some time. If you are interested in how I find inspiration for the whole pre-planning process, let me know in the comments if this is something you would like to see, and I will do a video about that. So for this month's symbol, you can see me just simply inking in the pencil lines and making them straight. I tried getting it right in the middle of the page, which I actually think I achieved this month. I am thinking of selling these as stickers on my Etsy store, or possibly a graphic print of all of the months at the end of the year. Let me know if this is something you'd also be interested in, or perhaps you could give me ideas of how I could use them for something else. Now, for this month's cover, here is half of ArchiFox's face, which some of you may remember back in January when I introduced ArchiFox. I did a very similar geometric design for him with his tail and full face. If not, click the card above to jump to that video to see that version of him. Anyhow, I have modified him to make him look a little bit more of a fox, as I thought he perhaps looked a little bit too much like a wolf before. I have filled in his geometric shapes with patterns and shapes from this month's theme. Using my Tombow 942 Tan brush pen to overlay some colour, using 2 layers of the colour to darken some shapes and only using 1 layer for lighter aspects. I have used these pens in my bullet journal before, and I absolutely love them because they don't bleed through the paper. However, as you can see, there is still a learning curve for me as I am used to using alcohol markers, which are different techniques to these. Also, I'm quite heavy-handed when using pens and pencils, whereas with these you need to be very light-handed and barely touch the paper. Once the blocking of colour is completed, I used my metallic jelly roll in bronze to fill in the line work and the facial features. Overall, I am pleased with how this turned out. I would like to turn this into a larger piece with more detail and his full head and tail. Perhaps make it into an art print and have it as a series of prints throughout the year. This is a section of the Great Temple of Amun Karnak, if I said that correctly, which was built of sandstone. I used Tombow 942 tan again, layering up the colours for different emphasis of detail, and then using Tombow N75 Cool Grey 3 for the shadowing and silhouettes of the columns behind. ArchiFox is sat on the ground looking up at these massive, larger-than-life columns. This is the month of Egyptian, in case you hadn't already guessed. I think it would be good if I could do like a live stream of me setting up and getting people to guess the theme and win a prize for the first person that does. I've got to look into doing that. Perhaps next month or the month after, once I work out how live streaming works. Beneath the title, I have an Egyptian proverb which reads, "Seek to perform your duties to your highest ability. This way your actions will become blameless." I think this proverb explains itself quite well, especially when you put it in the context of architecture. The text below the proverb just explains a little bit about the theme, which reads, "ArchiFox now has travelled across landmass, not time, to visit the Egyptians during the Old Kingdom phase of Egyptian architecture. Here he sees Egyptians fill in the steps of the pyramid tombs to form the now famous pyramids at Giza. Years later, New Kingdom time, Egyptian architects have learned how to build big open buildings with stone columns and stone roofs. They don't need to build solid pyramids anymore. These are the buildings that ArchiFox shall investigate." Moving on to my 3-month calendar spread. I love having this version of it last month, so I simply kept the layout the same, only now with Egyptian architecture instead of Sumerian. I found the title on this page on Pinterest and I just had to use it. 2 messages, 1 goal fits perfectly for my master planning, layout and master to-do lists. This drawing is actually explaining the symbol from the intro page, so you can hopefully see how the building would be in isometric view. Again, I might add this to a graphic print at the end of the year. We shall have to see how it will, or hopefully will, fit together. And here is my monthly spread. Nothing fancy, just simple grid boxes for the days and a very ornate Egyptian column holding up the last few days. The building drawing is that of a garden shrine from a painting in a tomb. Above the garden shrine, I left room for being able to put extra things that didn't quite fit into the boxes. The next few pages are my weekly setups. As I have said before, I like to have more visuals than lists and words. So for each week of the month, I have an inspiration box which allows me to give a shout out to people's work that I admire and take inspiration from. If I have put unknown and you know whose it is, please tell me in the comments. Then I leave 2 boxes, one for the main weekly objective and then the other for any notes or ideas that I may have. The Dutch door part in the middle is for my daily to-dos. Then on the other page I have another 2 boxes. This is for photos of project update, which may be whatever I'm working on that week, and then a memories from that week as well. So it also becomes a journal of sorts too. So when I'm an old biddy rocking in my rocking chair surrounded by trees and wild things, I can look back and laugh. Below all of that is my monthly trackers, which can be changed up at any time, and because of the way I created the weekly spreads, the trackers in monthly calendar can be seen at all times, which for me is another little nudge to keep on top of them. Then finally, I just print out a sticker for architecting and stick it on the page behind my weeklies, which is where my sketchbook chronicle begins for this month. And here's the final spread. I know this video is a little longer than my normal, but I had so much to share with you and I hope that you found something interesting or something to gain from it, even if it's just simply a good feeling. I really wanted to capture Egypt beyond the pyramids, and I think I did. Let me know in the comment section what you thought, or just to even say hi. Please subscribe and like if you want to see more of my content. I'm wishing you all the best on your journey, so in the meantime, happy architecting!